So, for the last couple of years, we've all been watching AI learn to talk, draw, and even code in ways that felt like something straight out of science fiction. But 2025? It's shaping up to be totally different. This is the year AI actually clocks in for its first real job. So, what happens when the magic show's over and the real work actually begins? And that's really the core question for the year ahead. We're moving way past the dazzling demos and into the messy, complicated world of implementation. How do we actually put all this raw intelligence to work inside our economy? Okay, to get our heads around this, we're going to break it down into 4 big chunks. First, we'll look at the big picture shift, then dive into the nuts and bolts of what we're calling the AI factory. After that, we'll meet the new workers, these autonomous agents. And finally, we're going to have to confront the brand new problems all this power creates. All right, so our first section, from models to machinery. The key idea here is that the race isn't just about who has the smartest, most intelligent model anymore. Nope. The new battleground is all about who can actually build the industrial machinery to use that intelligence. Think of it this way, right? A brilliant engine is totally useless without the rest of the car. The roads, the gas stations, the whole shebang. Well, that's exactly what's happening for AI right now. We're building the industrial plumbing, the infrastructure, so that AI can finally move beyond just answering our questions and start actually doing things out in the real world. Which brings us perfectly to Section 2, building the AI factory. This is where we get into the really foundational stuff, the software and the hardware that are going to make up this entire new economy. And I think this quote from the CEO of NAN just nails it. It's all about putting that intelligence to work. NAN is a workflow automation company, and they represent this absolutely critical software layer that's getting a ton of attention right now. And when I say attention, I mean serious money. NAN just closed a $180 million funding round, and get this, it was with backing from NVIDIA's own venture arm. So the big bet here is that the real value isn't just in the AI model itself, but in the software that connects it to the messy, real-world guts of a business. This critical software has a name. It's called the orchestration layer. You can think of it like a factory foreman. It's the thing that tells the AI model which data to pull, which tool to use, and what action to take next. It's the practical bridge that turns an AI's brainpower into a real-world result. But here's the thing. The factory isn't just software. It has a massive physical footprint. And this slide just illustrates that duality perfectly. On the one hand, you've got the digital engine, Microsoft's insane new supercluster that can shrink model training from months down to weeks. And on the other hand, you've got the physical cost, like xAI having to build a dedicated water recycling plant just to cool its computers. This whole digital revolution runs on some very, very real-world resources. Okay, so that brings us to Section 3. If we've built the factory, we need workers to actually operate the machinery. Well, in the AI economy, these new workers are autonomous agents. So, how are these agents actually starting to interact with the world? Here's a fascinating example. Perplexity, an AI-powered search engine, is partnering up with local news outlets. The agent uses their trusted reporting for its answers, and, crucially, the newsrooms actually get paid. It's a potential blueprint for maybe a healthier information ecosystem. But, and it's a big but, with new power comes new problems, and they show up instantly. This is literally the CEO of Perplexity himself having to tell people don't do this after seeing a video of a student using their agentic browser to complete an entire assignment in seconds. It's such a candid admission of the tension here. These tools are meant to augment learning, not just automate cheating. And this is where things start to feel truly futuristic. Except it is happening right now. For these agents to be truly autonomous, they need to be able to pay their own way. So this slide breaks down how it works. An agent requests some data, it makes a tiny micropayment for it, and then thousands of those transactions are all bundled together and settled super efficiently. We are literally watching the birth of a true machine-to-machine economy. And let's be super clear, this is not science fiction. Agents are already being put to work inside major business systems, the software that runs a company's finances and logistics. They're automating collections, handling customer service tickets, and even acting as personal shoppers. The agentic workforce is already on the clock. This new reality leads us directly into our final section, new power, new problems. I mean, what are the broader economic and societal ripple effects of building this new industrial base so incredibly fast? Well, the market itself is completely split. You can see it right here. On one side, you've got this massive optimism, the belief we're creating trillion-dollar winners. On the other side, you've got the bubble fears, pointing to what one economist calls so-so automation. Think about those frustrating self-checkout kiosks. The big worry is that while spending on AI is through the roof, the actual measurable returns are still lagging way behind for most companies. And the security risks are evolving too. There's a new term starting to emerge, shadow AI. This is what happens when autonomous agents are operating inside a company without anybody really watching them. They can access data and connect to systems in ways a human user never would, creating brand new security holes that older systems, which were built to watch people, can completely miss. And of course, this all leads to a massive challenge for us, the human workforce. Experts are calling for urgent educational reform, a move away from slow, traditional degrees towards faster, skills-first training. You're already seeing companies like Microsoft step in to train entire school systems. But that same tension we saw with Perplexity just keeps coming up. How do we empower people with these tools without short-circuiting learning itself? So I think when you boil it all down, the key takeaway is this. The technical challenges of building all this AI machinery, they're being solved at a breathtaking pace. Our biggest challenge isn't technical execution anymore. It's human wisdom. We've proven we can build this. Now we have to ask ourselves why we're building it and what for. And that really leaves us with this one final question. We are, without a doubt, building the engine of the 21st century. The machinery is being assembled as we speak. But are we, as a society, truly ready to take the wheel? Thanks for joining this explainer.